Hi everyone, it's Derek from the iReady podcast here, and this is my reaction to the 1-1 draw against St Johnstone in the Premiership tonight. It was an end of season game and it really felt like that. Combine that with a raft of changes and also a masterclass in refereeing of how not to referee a game, then, this is what the result transpires to be. But, we're still undefeated. That's ultimately the main thing. Wanted the 3 points. It's a dead rubber game at the end of the day. Unfortunately, obviously conceding right at the last minute there, which we'll get into. But I think the ultimate goal is to make sure we win that cup. And if it means sacrificing some of the remaining league games, then so be it, I think. As I said, there was a raft of changes, 7 changes from the game against Celtic. A few players in that I don't think we really expected, to be honest. McLaughlin for a start. McGregor's been on top form, but as I said, when it's a kind of dead rubber game like this, it's about giving players who've played all throughout the season, not really had any rests, giving them a wee bit of rest for tonight and giving other players a wee bit of game time just to keep them fresh, just in case they're needed. So the first half, it was overall a poor first half from us. St Johnstone were certainly up for it, chasing every ball, knocking it about well. Combine that with, as I said, our changes, it just seemed that there was a lack of cohesiveness and communication with the team. We started to come back into it around about the 15th minute. We retained the ball more, were knocking it about well, but we couldn't break down the defence. St Johnstone certainly, they had a number of chances in the first 5-10 minutes where McLaughlin had to be called into action. Certainly suffering from the sun as well. It was right in his eyes at that stage of the game. St Johnstone did finish the half strong as well without really doing anything with it, and we had no shots on target at all in the first half, which was really poor. I think we had 2 attempts and 0 on target. Compare that with St Johnstone's 6-2. So poor first half from us, but as I said, this is what happens in a dead rubber game. Second half, it started off kind of like the same as the first half. However, we did get the goal on the 55th minute of all minutes, and it was Wright getting his first goal for Rangers. The ball was played out of our half from the right to the middle of the park. It was missed by the St Johnstone midfielder, comes to Davis, who drove it forward. A lovely pass to pick out right on the edge of the box, who controls it, shimmies and cuts inside and hits a curler into the bottom right corner. Absolutely brilliant goal. Me mistake there from St Johnstone, but we played right into that, and it was just great vision and great technique all round. And then this is where the referee completely fell to pieces, because in the 57th minute he gave a penalty to St Johnstone. It was deemed to be a handball by Wright. It seemed to come off the inside of his left arm at his shoulder area, and I think it would have been incredibly harsh there because his arm was tucked in at that point, so it would have been incredibly harsh. Absolute confusion. The referee seemed completely out of it, to be honest. He didn't seem to know what to do. The players were remonstrating about it. He then pointed again to the spot. The St Johnstone player was about to take it, then the linesman called him over and overruled him, so no penalty given. So it would have been a harsh decision to give the penalty, but the referee completely out of his depth there. I was almost expecting VAR to come in, to be honest, but it's good to see that linesmen doing their job. Tavernier at this point came off in 62nd minute. Patterson came on. Certainly don't want to Tavernier his first game back after about 2 or 3 months out, so can't rush him back with these things. Made a couple other substitutions at that point. We were starting to get a wee bit more into the game, starting to control it a wee bit more. We had a few more chances, a few more efforts, but there was nothing really concrete, and same with St Johnstone at that point as well. 85th minute, there was another handball decision. The ball hits off the arm of Simpson in the box. His arm was down by his side, not in an unnatural position, so an absolutely correct decision by the referee for a change, not to give it at all. There was a lot of yellow cards up until this point, really for wee niggly things, for really nothing, not even yellow card challenges. Seemed to be always us that were getting the yellow cards in this game compared with St Johnstone players. And then a complete bizarre moment, because on the 94th minute he gave a penalty to St Johnstone for absolutely nothing. I really don't know what it was for. It seemed that the St Johnstone player seemed to fall over the legs of our defender. A bizarre decision. St Johnstone player take the penalty. It was a great penalty, mind you, but it should have never been given in the first place. Referees in this country, where do we go with them? We're fed up talking about them, but what can you say about that? So we restarted the game, and the referee blew for full time right after the kick-off. And that's how the game ended up 1-1. So Disappointing to lose the goal, obviously, at the end. Disappointing to drop 2 points. However, our unbeaten run is still intact. So, got to be happy at that of sorts, given the circumstances as well. It leads us on, though, onto Sunday, which is against St Johnstone again in the Cup. It's at Ibrox this time, though. It's a 6:30 kick-off, I believe. So, given the way St Johnstone played tonight, they're certainly going to be up for it. We need to be very, very careful about how we play this game. I fully expect another raft of changes. The kind of a lot of the players who dropped out tonight are going to be back into the fold. I can't imagine there'll be this lack of cohesion in the team for that game. We'll just need to be very wary that they can still be dangerous. And I think it'll be a different kettle of fish, and we'll play completely differently anyway. So Dave and I won't be back this week. We'll probably be back after the weekend. But as ever, you can go to our website, which is ireadypodcast.wordpress.com, and there you can find most of the podcasts and match reactions that we do. So thanks for listening.